So you're planning a trip to Japan and wondering what you need to prepare? Look no further. As a foreigner who lived in Okinawa and visited the mainland extensively, this was my thought process when I went to Japan for the first time, and the tips and tricks I learned while traveling there. Because Japan is a large and diverse country, I recommend starting your trip planning process by picking your destinations based on the length of your trip and your interests. I recommend Japan Guide and the Japan National Tourist Organization for their informative guides on locations in Japan, traveler information, ideas on what to do, and help with trip planning. Here is a checklist of details to consider before and during your trip. Number 1. Tourist seasons. When planning the dates for your trip, it's useful to know the different tourist seasons. Plan accordingly because accommodation, attractions, and transportation can sell out. Late March to April is the busiest time for Japan because of the cherry blossom season. Furthermore, Golden Week from April 29th to May 5th is a popular time for domestic travel amongst Japanese citizens. September to mid-November is busy because of fall foliage. If you want to avoid crowds, you should go between June to mid-July during the rainy season or during the low season between January and March. Furthermore, prices tend to be lower in the low season after New Year's. Number 2. Accommodation. Japan is famous for its unique lodging options. Beyond standard hotels and hostels, consider a night in a traditional ryokan inn, a capsule hotel, a shukubu temple lodging, or a family-run minshuku bed and breakfast. Themed hotels also offer another layer of fun for specific interests. I recommend using Booking.com and Agoda for booking your accommodation. Number 3. Activities. When planning your trip to Japan, be sure to check the calendar for local festivals and seasonal events. I recommend this article from the Invisible Tourist on cultural experiences and activities. If you know the areas you plan to stay, you can also look up specific locations in the article. Additionally, platforms like Klook and TripAdvisor are great places to book activities and tours. For some ideas of what to book early, this Reddit post that was last updated in June 2023 has a good list of attractions to book ahead of time in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Hakone. If you're not able to get a reservation in advance, some attractions have last-minute cancellations that you can check for every day. I was able to get reservations for Kirby Cafe and Pokemon Cafe in Tokyo this way. Alternatively, for attractions that sell out quickly, it is possible to go by joining a group tour. Number 4. Transportation. For local trips, you can get around easily with public transportation. Because Japan has a well-established train and bus system, public transportation is reliable, efficient, and easy to navigate. Instead of individually buying train tickets and paying bus fares with yen, make your life easier by getting an IC card. Besides transportation, IC cards are commonly used in stores, restaurants, and at certain vending machines and coin lockers across the country. You can either get a physical or a digital IC card. The kind of IC card you get doesn't really matter and will mostly just be a reflection of the area that you purchased it from. However, it is useful to note that you can only get a refund for a physical IC card in the region it was acquired. The most popular ones are Suica, Passmo, and Icoca. If you have an iPhone and a MasterCard or Amex card, the most convenient option is to download an IC card onto your Apple Wallet. While digital IC cards are also available on Android phones, you can only access them on apps that are designed for Japanese locals. Always add a new digital IC card onto your phone. I do not recommend transferring a physical card to Apple Pay because it can cause complications with reloading money. Furthermore, once a physical card is digitalized, it cannot be undone, and the remaining balance is not eligible for a refund. Digital IC cards are used exactly the same as a physical. However, because it is linked to your credit card, You can add money into it at any time with Apple Pay. That being said, be conservative about how much you load onto a card. Digital IC cards do not allow refunds unless you have a Japanese bank account. The second option is to get a physical IC card. You can get one at the airport upon arrival, at major train and subway stations, and at some convenience stores. On my first trip to Japan, I ordered one with Klook for airport pickup. You can reload your IC card with yen at convenience stores and at kiosks and ticket machines inside subways and train stations. The physical card is refundable at the card issuer's ticket office with a small 220 yen handling fee. Child fares for IC cards. If you're traveling with children from ages 6 to 11, it is possible to get a physical child fare IC card that halves the prices for fares. Up to 2 kids between the ages of 1 to 5 years old per accompanying adult is free. Any additional child pays the child fare. The child fare also applies when occupying a reserved seat. Infants are free, but they also pay the child fare when sitting in the reserved seat. You have to show the child's passport when purchasing. If you are interested in keeping your IC card as a souvenir, sometimes IC cards with special designs are available for foreigners. They are often available at airports and major ticket offices. Another option if you want to visit an area extensively in a short amount of time is to get an unlimited pass for transportation, like this one for Osaka that is available for 1 or 2 days. Transportation passes like this typically also offer free entry to numerous attractions. In some instances, you might want to take a taxi. For example, when public transportation isn't running from midnight to 5 a.m., in rural areas without much public transportation, or when you have a lot of luggage. Taxis are commonly located in front of train stations. However, it is common to see them in the street, and you can flag one down where it is safe to stop. Rides are run by a meter and tipping is unnecessary. In major cities, taxis can often be paid with credit card, but are mostly cash only in the countryside. When you enter and exit, you don't have to open the doors. The majority of taxis in Japan have automatic doors that the driver will open and close for the passenger. Additionally, it is useful to display your address in Japanese to the driver. You can also download a taxi app if you want more direct and convenient pickups/drop-offs. I recommend using Uber and Go. You can sign up for both with an international number and credit card. English interfaces are available on both. It should also be noted that Uber in Japan partners with licensed taxis instead of private ride-sharing. For more long-distance trips in Japan, you can consider ordering a ticket for the Shinkansen, or limited express train. These two types of trains require special reservation. Shinkansen trains are bullet trains that can travel long distances quickly. Limited express trains are trains that only travel to the main stations. Each train has reservation and non-reservation cars. Reservation cars are typically more expensive and guarantee your seat on a specific train. Non-reserved tickets are slightly cheaper, first come first serve, and allow you to enter any train on the booking date, but are not guaranteed. Most of the time, you can order your Shinkansen or limited express tickets on the same day. However, you should order your tickets ahead of time if you want to go on a popular route, especially during weekends/holidays, or traveling a long distance, or if you want to sit with a group that wants to sit together. If the train seated tickets are sold out, you will have to stand. JR releases Shinkansen and limited express tickets about 1 month in advance. Tickets can be purchased at JR ticket offices, ticket machines, and online through official websites like SmartX and JR East, JR Central, and JR West websites. I don't recommend using Klook for reserving train tickets or passes because it is less convenient and charges additional fees. If you are traveling with oversized luggage, you can reserve a space for it when you order your Shinkansen ticket. If you get onto an express train or bullet train without purchasing a ticket ahead of time, a ticket officer will ask you for payment on the train. JR Pass. Another option to consider for long-distance travel are JR passes. which can be useful if you're planning to travel to several long-distance destinations in a short amount of time. JR passes allow for unlimited travel for 1, 2, or 3 weeks on JR trains, which offers flexibility. They are only available for tourists, and you need to get your JR pass before you travel to Japan. You can purchase nationwide JR passes online from the Japan Railway official website or through other authorized sellers. You have to pick up the physical pass at the JR office at the airport or at JR stations after you arrive. For Shinkansen and limited express trains, a free seat reservation is required before boarding. For local and rapid JR trains, no reservation is needed. Simply board with your pass. You can also use a JR pass for JR buses, Tokyo monorail to Haneda, and JR ferries. JR East, JR Central, and JR West also offer regional JR passes. While these passes cover smaller routes, they are cheaper than the nationwide JR passes. However, because of the dramatic 70% price increases in fall 2023, according to this article from Inside Kyoto, buying a JR pass is only worth it if you will do more than 4 2-hour plus Shinkansen trips in a week for a 7-day pass, and if you will do more than 8 2-hour plus Shinkansen trips in a 2-week trip for a 14-day pass. You can also use online calculators to see if buying the JR pass makes sense for you. Other long-distance options. Alternatively, domestic flights, ferries, and long-distance buses will often provide a more affordable option if you're thinking of traveling to distant regions. Number 5. Internet access while traveling. Free Wi-Fi is common in Japan. Be on the lookout for the free Wi-Fi symbol. There are apps that foreigners can use to help them automatically connect to free Wi-Fi spots instead of having to constantly sign in. Free Wi-Fi is located throughout several locations in Japan, such as major airports, train stations like JR stations, some metro stations, and most Shinkansen trains. Some bus stops and highway rest areas offer free Wi-Fi. Expressway buses and airport limousine buses also tend to offer free Wi-Fi, depending on the company. Tourist information centers that are often located near tourist sites and major stations. Major department stores and shopping malls, such as Aeon, Don Quixote, Parco, and Ito Yokado. Convenience stores like Ministop and most Lawson's, and certain restaurant and cafe chains. Some notable ones include Starbucks, McDonald's, and Tully's Coffee. Additionally, family restaurants like Caesarea and Jonathan's. However, the availability, speed/strength of connection, and security of free Wi-Fi can vary depending on your location. To ensure reliable internet access while traveling, use SIM cards/eSIMs and pocket Wi-Fi. You can order any of these options online and pick them up from the airport or get them at the airport upon your arrival. SIM cards and eSIMs are essentially the same and are used for data and international calls and texting. It is important to note that you can only use them if your phone is unlocked. SIM cards are physical cards you place inside of your phone. Some phones like the US iPhone 14 and all later models only use eSIMs. eSIMs are easy to use. You can purchase them from anywhere online, and they can be installed before your flight so you have access to data immediately upon arrival. It is also easy to extend/buy more data. I recommend purchasing from Klook for their affordable rates. However, some eSIMs only include data and do not include a local number. Pocket Wi-Fi is more useful if you have multiple devices that you need to connect to the internet, or when you have multiple people traveling with you. The pocket Wi-Fi also needs to be charged, but most devices have a long-lasting battery. Upon departure, you return the device by dropping it off at the airport or at the post office. Whether you decide to get a SIM card or pocket Wi-Fi, 1 GB should be enough data for one person to use for at least 1 week, as long as you don't use data excessively. For example, using it to stream videos and music, download large files, and make video calls. Primarily, data should be used for navigation, email, text/calls, and looking up information when you're away from Wi-Fi. You typically do not need a local number while traveling in Japan, as there are multiple ways to navigate around this. Get local messaging apps like Line and WhatsApp. Line is the most popular messaging app in Japan and is used by over 3 million businesses and 70% of the Japanese population. Ask hotel staff to make the call for you. Use a public payphone with yen. They take 10 and 100 yen coins. It is common to find them at airports, train stations, hospitals, main streets, and city halls. Number 6. Language translation. Download your Japanese language translator and have the language available offline. I use Google Translate and it worked well for translating signs, images, and basic communication. Number 7. Navigation. Download the areas you are traveling onto a digital map to be available offline. Google Maps works well, especially for navigating public transportation. Number 8. What to bring. Yen and a coin purse for change. While credit is largely available in cities, Japan is still a cash-based society, and carrying one just makes it easier to sort money. Universal power adapter. For visitors outside of North and Central America and certain parts of Asia like Vietnam, it is useful to bring a universal power adapter to charge devices. Most outlets in Japan utilize 2-prong flat-pin Type A plugs. Furthermore, while 3-prong Type B outlets do exist in Japan, they are more rare. A credit card that can handle international transactions to use and withdraw local currency. International ATMs are usually found in convenience stores like any 7-Eleven and some locations of Lawson and Family Mart, post offices, malls like Aeon, department stores, and international airports. Number 9. Convenience stores. Japanese convenience stores, or konbini, are essential for any traveler. They are ubiquitous, open 24/7, and famous for their high-quality ready-to-eat meals. Beyond food, groceries, household items, and toiletries, convenience stores function as multi-service stations offering international ATMs, copy machines that can print, copy, and scan documents. You can use USB, CDs/DVDs, and SD cards to upload your files to print. Additionally, you are able to get high-quality prints suitable for passport photos with this service. Some major convenience stores allow you to print directly from your phone if you download an app. Ticket reservation machines. These kiosks enable ticket bookings for entertainment, sports, movies, amusement parks, museums, or bus and plane tickets. You pay for the reservation at the counter. It is also possible to reserve tickets online and pay for the tickets in the convenience store. This is useful if you don't have a Japanese bank card. After you pay, they will print your tickets. Bill payments. And at select locations, package pickup and shipping. Some locations also offer luggage delivery to the airport. Number 10. Passport. Carry your passport with you at all times. It is rare, but sometimes police will ask foreigners for their passport. And if you don't have it with you, you may be fined up to 100,000 yen. Also, you should bring your passport with you to qualify for tax exemptions at certain stores, which leads me to the next point. Number 11. Tax exemptions. Current system until late 2026. Japan has many tax-free shops like department stores, specialty and souvenir stores, electronic retailers, fashion and lifestyle stores, and drugstores. These stores are usually marked with a Japan tax-free shop logo or sign. There are 2 categories of tax-free goods: general goods, such as clothing and electronics, and consumable goods, such as food, cosmetics, and medicine. General goods are tax-exempt for single-day purchases of 5,000 yen or more per store. Consumable goods are tax-exempt for single-day purchases of between 5,000 yen to 500,000 yen per store. Consumables must be sealed in special bags at purchase and should not be opened until you leave Japan. At the store, present your passport. The tax is either deducted at checkout or refunded at a dedicated tax-free counter in the store on the same day. Before departure, keep all receipts and tax-free purchase slips. You may need to present your goods and receipts at customs before checking in luggage or after passport control. If you cannot show the items or documents, you will be required to pay the consumption tax on the spot. Important changes starting November 2026. You will pay the full price, including tax, at the store. Refunds will be processed at the airport upon departure, within 90 days of purchase. The current minimum and maximum purchase requirements will be removed. Strict separation between general and consumable goods will be removed. Consumables will no longer need to be sealed in special bags, making shopping more convenient. Submit your receipts at the airport customs counter to receive your refund. Goods may still be inspected to confirm they are leaving Japan. Tip: keep all receipts and arrive at the airport early to allow time for the refund process. Number 12. Language and common courtesy. While only 15 to 28% of the population speaks conversational English, tourists will find the country English-friendly, with widespread translated signage and audio translations, especially on public transport. Furthermore, while Japanese people tend to be more introverted and reserved overall, Japanese people are polite, friendly, and willing to help foreigners when approached. Locals appreciate when visitors make an effort to learn a few phrases of Japanese. Konnichiwa is hello, arigato gozaimasu is thank you, sumimasen means excuse me / I'm sorry / thank you depending on the context. Additionally, it is common to bow when you greet or say goodbye to someone. Bowing is also used to show gratitude, apologize, show respect, and while making a request. The depth of your bow signals the level of respect and importance you are offering. It is usually sufficient for foreigners to give a slight nod of the head. Number 13. Public etiquette. Do not blow your nose in public. Remove your shoes when you see a genkin entryway or tatami mats. Always have socks handy because it is disrespectful to walk barefoot. Avoid eating and walking because it is seen as rude and messy. Instead, finish your food outside the stall/store you purchased it from or in a designated eating area. Similarly, do not eat on trains except on JR trains. Public trash bins are scarce. Your best bets are convenience stores, for customers only, and bins next to vending machines and on train station platforms. It is useful to carry a small bag for your trash. On escalators and sidewalks, stay to one side, generally the left except in Osaka to let others pass. Public transportation is a space for quiet and rest. Refrain from loud talking or phone calls. Hold your backpack or bag on the front when it is busy to make space and avoid unnecessary collisions on public transportation. Number 14. Service etiquette. Tipping is not customary. Offering a tip can cause confusion. Excellent service is standard and included in the price. When you go to pay for items, the cashier will put a tray in front of you. Place your money or card into the tray directly, instead of handing it to the cashier. Trust the cashier with your change. Counting it is seen as distrustful. And finally, be on time for reservations and meetings, because punctuality shows respect in Japan. If you do have to cancel, do it in a timely manner. Number 15. Chopstick etiquette. You hold chopsticks by having the thumb support the top chopstick with the index and middle finger. The bottom chopstick is supported by the ring and pinky finger. Here are some basic rules for chopsticks. Do not stick your chopsticks on top of rice. This is reminiscent of funeral incense. Also, avoid passing food directly between chopsticks, because this is similar to a funeral ritual for handling cremated bones. Additionally, do not point, wave around, stab food, use them to move plates, or play with your chopsticks. Leave your chopsticks uncrossed and use a chopstick holder when not in use. Use serving chopsticks for shared dishes. If there aren't any shared chopsticks, then you can use the wide ends of the chopsticks to get food. Using chopsticks, even if imperfectly, is appreciated. However, you can usually ask the restaurant for a fork. Most places, especially family restaurants in tourist areas, will give you one if available. It should be noted that sushi bars and smaller local spots might not have forks, so it is useful to carry disposable forks if you are worried. Number 16. Onsen Etiquette. If you visit an onsen or hot spring in Japan, here are some rules to know beforehand. Avoid using the onsen when you are hungry or full. Drink plenty of water, and do not visit an onsen when you are intoxicated. When you visit an onsen, you have to take a shower at the washing station before getting in. Hot springs are for soaking and not cleaning. Most are separated by gender, and it is common to expect complete nudity in onsens. You can cover yourself with a small towel while walking around for modesty. However, towels are not allowed in the hot spring pools. People with long hair need to make sure that they keep their hair up because hair touching the water is seen as unhygienic. Finally, rest after you get out of the onsen. Additionally, if you have tattoos, you need to choose an onsen that is tattoo friendly, or a private onsen because many public baths still ban them. Number 17. Shrine and Temple Etiquette. When you visit a Buddhist temple or a Shinto shrine, here are some rules to know. Act calmly and respectfully. Photography is allowed, but usually not inside buildings. There will often be signs or staff to clear up confusion. Temple rules. Remove shoes and hats before entering. You can show your respect by making a short prayer in front of a sacred object. Throw some coins into the offering box and offer a short prayer. For certain temples, visitors can burn incense at large incense burners. You can purchase a bundle, light them, and then wave your hand to blow out the flame. Some believe that fanning the smoke towards themselves heals. Afterwards, you put the incense in the incense burner and make a short prayer. Shrine rules. Do not visit a shrine if you are sick, have an open wound, or are mourning, because these are seen as impurities. Avoid walking in the middle of the path towards the shrine, because that is where deities are supposed to pass. If you want to use a purification fountain before entering, near the shrine entrance there will be a purification fountain. You can take a ladle, fill it with fresh water, and rinse your left and then right hand. Then take some water from the ladle into your hand, rinse your mouth, and spit the water out beside the fountain. Some visitors skip the mouth rinsing step. When you want to make an offering at the offering hall, throw a coin into the offering box, then bow twice. Afterwards, clap your hands twice. Pray for a second, and finally bow one more time. When there is a bell or gong, use it before starting the procedure. That concludes my checklist to enjoy a smooth and stress-free trip. Now you're ready to tackle your next adventure to Japan. Have fun planning, and remember that as long as you are respectful to the local culture, there's no wrong way to visit Japan. If you found this helpful, leave a comment and like below. Thanks for watching and see you later.